press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. Call me on this mobile number or you contact me on my email address if you wish to take a online reading or you face-to-face reading. What about my fate line? Does it tell about money, possessions, wealth? Not everything can be told by the lines of money. Regarding the money part, even your heart line can basically tell about your money part, and your lifeline also tell about the money part, or the mounts, different mounts can tell about your money. So out here we'll be taking a look at the hand out here, and one significant thing that you see on his palm is this is the headline. This is the headline that you are seeing. So this is branching. This is the first aspect, and this portion you would see that it's really dark, and this is around the age of 32 35. That's when things are. And in this particular case, this was the left hand, and this is basically right hand. And in right hand also the headline is splitting into two. So this is an important aspect on this particular palm. And now let's straight away go and try to analyze this particular palm, what it says about this particular person. I'll try to tell you right now his age is approximately 25, and we are looking at his right hand. You would notice a few things that first I'm going to basically look at the headline. This is the headline. This is basically the headline, and there's a small breakout here that you see, all upward curve. So the break is somewhere out here, and as it reaches the money line, this is the money line, basically the money. So the intersection is age 35, from 0 out here to age 35. This is what we see. So break somewhere out here is before the age of 35. So this is one part. We'll try to correlate the same aspect of the break that you see on the right hand on the left hand as well. So you'd notice I'm just zooming in, and this is the headline. The break is somewhere out here. So a break, whenever we see a break on the headline, it means that probably there could be the change of thought process the person might have in his life. So this basically becomes a very significant area of one's life, and people should be cautious during this particular period. So the age could be approximately around the age of maybe 25 to 28. That's when things are going to happen. So this is one part. The good part is that the headline that you see here, we find that there's a break. It's moving a little bit upwards, and whenever lines move upward, that is towards the fingers, it is considered to be a good sign basically. And in this particular case, the headline is moving upward and pointing towards the mount of Mercury. Mercury is a very important planet in one's life, and Mercury represents skill, communication, skills in any particular field. It could be the field of engineering, it could be medical line, it could be statistics, mathematics, economics. So all these things are basically represented by Mercury. And whenever the headline is moving upward, it basically means some gains coming to this particular person's life. The gains could be in the form of money matters. It could also be in the form of some the person wins something. It is not winning of lottery, but it is something like the person advances in his work. There's a career growth, and because it's happening somewhere in the early period of life, so this is basically an important period of one's life. So so good signs during these particular years matter, like they matter the most. And if we are able to achieve success in the early period of life, so it basically represents that chances are things are going to be good in the later period as well. So this is the first, the break in the headline I have tried to explain, but it also like kind of changes the thought process of this particular person, because the line ends out here and a new line basically develops out here. And this line too, if we find this too is moving upward to and pointing towards the amount of mercury. So any line pointing towards the mercury, I've already explained to you what basically it means. It is gains, it means success, it can mean the person takes up a new learning thing and a new like learning curve in one's life, and because the person is learned, that is the chances why there would be lots many gains in this particular person's life. So the other part is the headline. This is the head sorry, this is basically the money line and the headline. So this intersection is basically age 35. So at this particular age 35, we are finding that there is a blackened kind of a area out here, and the area starts somewhere at the age of 33 to 35, 36. So so it should be this period basically represents that there could be some mental problems or mental issues that are likely to crop up in this particular person's eyes. Any line that darkens or broadens is generally not considered to be a good sign. So this is where caution needs to be there, and it's and this darkened area is somewhere under the amount of this is the amount of Saturn. So just under Saturn that we find this blackened area. So Saturn is basically representing like depression, or it means there are delays. All these things are likely to take place in one's life, and people should be cautious during this particular period, and they should keep a very stable mind during this particular period. So this is a period of caution, I would say. The other we would try to correlate this particular area on the, this is the left hand, we try to correlate on the right hand now. So on the right hand, this is the area that we are referring to on the headline. So what we find is that there's a small branch, the headline. So there's a small branch that is pointing downwards, pointing towards the base of the amount of moon. Moon is basically representing imagination, visualization, and romance. If the whole line had curved downwards, the headline would have curved downwards, I wouldn't have basically said anything wrong. But the small branches is happening somewhere in the earlier period of one's life. So the chances of some disappointments are likely to take place. We have talked about gains and success with the upward line that you see on the headline. So this is upward lines are always success, but downward line is basically some failure that might take place in one's life. So so this is one aspect, and this happens somewhere at the age of, this point of period is approximately 33, 34. That's where things are going to be there could be a few problems. The other problematic area is that there are few backward lines before the age of 33, backward lines out here, and they're pointing towards basically the area of Mars. This is basically the area of Mars negative. This is basically the area of aggression, fire, anger. And backward lines from the headlines pointing towards the Mars areas represents that the chances are that the person might develop anger in his mind, and when the mind is angry, then the chances of making wrong decisions basically increase. So it is advised that the person tries to remain calm, quiet, and take the decision without being angry. It doesn't mean passion. It just means we shouldn't bring anger inside our mind, and and we are likely to basically be on a positive path in one's life. So this is one part. The other part is, if you look at the money line, this is basically the money line in the initial phase, and the initial phase, it's going and pointing towards the Mount of Mars. It's having a slightly inward curve. Inward curve pointing towards the Mars is generally not considered to be good. The chances are that the person might basically make wrong decisions, and this is one part. The second part is a new line basically develops, that too basically ends somewhere out here. So somewhere at the age of 30, 33, 32, 33, that's when this line is basically ending. A small branch is starting out here and kind of joining into the main money line. It means that gains coming to this particular person, and gains are likely to take place, and it could be due to help from unknown people, or help from foreigners, or help coming from after marriage. So all these things are basically positive signs. The other aspect is that there's a small small triangle-like formation. Triangle-like formation basically indicates property. Whenever we find a triangle-like formation on the lifeline or a square, it means the person might make a property. So this is happening in the earlier period of one's life, and normally it doesn't happen, but in this case we find. So you would find that the money line is ending somewhere out here, but before it ends, a line is developing and kind of starting in this particular fashion. So before it ends, a new line develops. So the chances are new career prospects are going to develop for this particular person somewhere at the age of probably 26, 27. That's the approximate age, I would say. And that area, basically, this line basically continues till the late period of one's life. So this new line again originates on the Mount of Moon. So benefits coming to the person from females. Most probably it is the wife, and this line basically, I'll just take up a new image. We'll take up look at the. So in this, it's much more clearer. The money line is starting on the Mount of Moon, and slowly it's developed and reaches somewhere till here. So if this point is age 35, the intersection of head and the money line is 35. The intersection of money line on the heart line is age 53. So this is age 35. This is age 53. So somewhere in the middle, the age is approximately 44. So that's when basically the mean line ends. This line ends around the age of 45, 46. That's when it ends, and new lines basically develop. They are not one but multiple lines that you see. So and towards the end, there's only a singular line. So having 2 or 3 lines basically means the chances are that the person might have multiple careers or 2 or 3 sources of income, and one of them could also be help from wife. So this is one aspect. So a breakout here could mean possibility that a few problems are going to crop up somewhere at the age of 44, 44, 45, and that's when trouble is going to take place. The other aspect is regarding the sunline. You would see sunline is having many breaks, so constant breaks throughout. It's only towards after the age of 53, that's when the line becomes very distinct, and this is the heart line, and this is basically the sun line. The sun line from early period till headline is age 35. From headline to heartline is age 53 and 53 and beyond this particular area. So after the age of 53, things are likely to be much better, but the breaks constantly means the person is going to keep on changing his work, and because he's going to constantly keep on changing, the chances are that he wouldn't be able to stabilize. The one part is this. The other part is that these are the Mercury lines that you see out here. Having perpendicular lines always means the chances of the person having good skills is going to be good, and because of good skills, the chances are that they're going to do much better in their life. If we compare the left, this was the right hand. If we look at the left hand, we find that the Mercury line is very, very strong. This strong Mercury line means that the person is sharpening their skills. Sharpening their skills either in verbal communication, or it could mean they're sharpening their skills in their technical expertise. So generally these are considered to be, stronger line is always considered to be compared to having weaker line. So it is advised that the person tries to sharpen the skills. It need not be that they should venture out and do into multiple works. Single work can still give huge amount of success. It's not that you need to have multiple work in your life. These are Mercury lines, and many Mercury lines. So when there are too many lines out here, it means that there could be overworking of one's mind. These lines are also called the line of health. This line is also called the line of liver. So probably it's always good that that even if you don't have these lines, it is considered to be good. But if there are too many lines, it means that the person is overworking their mind. It is advised that they should keep their mind calm for some time. That is going to basically make their digestion much better, their liver functioning to be much better. Whenever we overwork our mind, too much of bile is going to get secreted, and that's the reason there could be few problems that might crop up in their life. So digestion for success is highly important. If they don't, then there could be few troubles. The headline that is branching, it means the straight line means practicality, and the downward lines means basically imagination. And both these lines are splitting and having a wider coverage area. It means more energies or more thought process or many things are coming out here, and they're entering this particular area between the branch of both these lines. It signifies that they would be able to see things in different perspective. Like this is a particular building. If this is a particular building, and people generally are able to see only one side of the building. But such people, they basically have that capacity to see things in different aspects. So if people can see things in different aspects, these people would be much better than their competitors, and the likelihood of them to be able to see a particular situation or a problem in different ways is going to be more. So it's generally considered to be an extremely positive aspect. The other positive aspect is a triangle like formation out here on the lifeline. This is basically the lifeline. It means property. This too is happening in the earlier period of one's life, before the age of 35. Upward line pointing towards any particular finger. If they point towards Jupiter, it means high position, honor. If they point towards Saturn, it means basically money matters. So if we look at the left hand, again these branches from the lifeline pointing towards sea. So these are basically lucky spells in one's life. But the negative aspect is that there's a branch from the lifeline. This is the lifeline. They're kind of moving this way downwards. Downward branches from the lifeline is negative, and upward branches is positive. So positive and negative, both things are likely to take place in one's life, and the hard line is quite distinct and clear. This is what the line should be like. But there are few branches over it. These branches basically brings in stress and anxiety. It could be due to some particular person that these stress and anxiety are going to develop, and it is advised to remain practice detachment. Detachment is what Gita says, being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome. In general, if we look at the heartline, this is considered to be good because of the clarity in it. If some people might have a very unclear kind of a heartline, that would signify that the person is not able to focus, and but such a person is like kind of focusing. It's that just that these branches shouldn't be there. These are few distractions, falling for temptations, but in general, still it is much better than what many other people have. So this one aspect, the hard line is also ending under the mount of Saturn. This is the mount of Saturn. So somewhere between the first and the second finger. So somewhere we would say it's nearing the end towards the mount of Saturn. These people could be very responsible, and such people basically also are good at managing money. So those aspects are there. In his case, one negative aspect is there, that the length of the Mercury finger is falling short. I'll try to show another hand image where it is basically, we can see it much more clearly. This is the line of Mercury, so it's just below the first phalange line of the sun finger. It's more apparent in the left hand. In the left hand, it's still shorter. I did try to correlate with this particular person by asking him, is it really short? This is the Mercury finger really short? So he did say that it is really short. It basically represents that chances are that many miscommunications are likely to develop with near and dear ones. So it is advised that they keep on communicating, and they keep on keep the link alive with their near and dear ones. These people could be extremely good communicators with faraway people, but when it comes to near people, that's where their problems are likely to crop up, and distance is going to develop as time goes by. We do see a money triangle like formation. Money triangle is generally considered to be good for property and money matters, but having fewer lines in between would have been a much better sign. In this, if there are many lines, then the quality of money triangle basically decreases, but still, because of the presence of the money triangle, it means that properties or possessions are going to basically increase in their life. In the earlier period of the sun line on the left hand, the line is quite good, but from the age of 35 to 53, that's when the line basically kind of becomes extremely dim. It is the period where doubts are going to take place in one's life, and because of doubts, the chances for success basically decreases, and they should try to remove all the doubts from their mind. After the age of 53, we find a V-like formation like this. So it is considered to be better sign. The reason is plain and simple why it is considered to be good, because whenever we see a V does not mean a victory. It just means that it is having a wider coverage area, and kind of imagine people like this is the electricity current that is passing through the fingers and entering the palm, or the rays penetrating from the fingers and entering the palm. So entering the palm means entering one's life, and whenever we see a V-like formation, those rays or energies get accumulated between this particular V, and it's generally considered to be, this period becomes a significant area. So after the age of 53, 55, that's when major period of his life basically is likely to take place. So in all, I would say a good hand. Only 2-3 things for caution. The first part is that from the age of 33 to 35, he should be cautious, and before that, the headline where there's a break, again a few caution. A small Mercury finger means miscommunication and developing distance between our near and dear ones. So that's it for this particular reading. I just add one more thing before I end my video, and that is a major line. Out here, I mentioned the downward line, disappointments, backward lines, anger, aggression, and on the left hand there was a darkened area before the age of 35, but to safeguard this particular person. The good part is that apart from the lifeline, this is the lifeline. There's another line that is running parallel to the lifeline. This is the Mars line, and Mars line is the line of support. It means the fighting spirit within us, the spark within us, and those things basically bring success. This is kind of a armor that you wear, and you are basically getting protected from any problem, be it financial, be it mental, be it emotional, or any kind. We also do not find many, like there's a grill-like formation out here, but this grill-like formation not somewhere out here. So this is an extremely good aspect, because this is, if these lines are penetrating and pointing and touching the lifeline or the headline or the heart line, those kind of problems are likely to develop. If they touch the lifeline, health related; if they touch the money line, finance related; if they touch the headline, it is basically thought process related; if it touches the heart line, it is emotions related. So the person is getting protected with this particular line of protection. This is the guardian angel line also. The names could be different, but the meaning remains the same: protection from difficult people, difficult situations, and and the person comes out as a winner, and the fighting spirit remains with this particular person. And before basically I end this particular video, I would request you to press the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and get regular updates. Do give your precious comments, and press the bell icon. Don't miss another update. You can contact me on my number or my email address. Thank you for watching. Bye and take care.